Hey everybody, Mario here, otherwise known as Y2M on the interwebs, and welcome to another installment of the Reboot review. Now this week I got a hold of 11 of the new 52, pretty much the last 11 that I wanted to get a hold of for me personally. And because I got quite a bit this week, I'm going to split the review into 3 parts. So here's hoping that I can post all of them up, and that way you can check them all out. Alright, let's get things started right away. Alright, well, first one, I only had a mild curiosity about, but decided to pick it up because it was at the store. Deathstroke #1. I heard a lot of things about Slade Wilson, better known as Deathstroke the Terminator, and, I just thought, well, we got another superhuman mercenary that isn't in Marvel. I figure I'll check it out. Look, and I gotta tell you, didn't like it at all. Just like the way I harped on Catwoman because of having sex for the sake of just having sex, Deathstroke I didn't like because it just seemed to have violence just for the sake of violence. Like, seriously. Oh, you're too young to be a mercenary. Bam! Oh, you looked at me funny. Bam! Oh, you like Justin Bieber? Bam! The last one was a pretty acceptable reason. I don't mind that one at all. But yeah, I mean, there was nothing clever here, nothing exciting, nothing cool. Stuff happened, but it was stuff I didn't care about. The characters I didn't give a crap about, and as it turns out it was a good thing because they ended up getting killed. Spoiler alert. So honestly, I was not in the least impressed. I'm definitely not going to pick up an issue 2. I was less than impressed. I was bored, and I kind of was a little bit disgusted. Just the fact that this book just seemed to do stuff for no reason. And besides, I really don't need Deathstroke, because if I want to get a superhuman mercenary comic, I already have one. And I'm good with him. Plus, he's funnier, by the way. Next up is Swamp Thing #1. Have to admit, I was not this was not on my wish list at all. But it was recommended to me by one of my good friends, and he had listened to a recommendation of mine about Action Comics, so I figured I should return his kindness, so I decided to check this book out. I only knew very little about Swamp Thing. I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it. It was the surprise, really, for me. Still don't know a lot about Swamp Thing, so I am probably going to pick up an issue 2 just to see if they do any sort of backstory. But I like seeing all these weird things. It seems like, pretty much as you can tell, it seems like it has to do with things, crimes against nature, mysteries of nature, things to do with nature, basically. And it was nice having brief cameos by some other well-known superheroes, and Superman once again popped up. This is what, like the 4th time he's done that, so it was nice. The art was great. The storyline was a little slow-paced, but it made sense, and I will pick up an issue 2. This was really a surprise. I really don't have much to say because unlike other people, I really don't know much about this guy. So if you feel like enlightening me, by all means, comment. But I'm gonna pick up issue 2. Next up on the list, Justice League Dark. I'm not exactly comfortable with the name because they really don't have anything to do with either of the other 2 Justice League books at all. In fact, the only connection I see between the 3 is the fact that Batman makes an appearance in all of them. But basically, this gathers up all the mystical, magic-wielding, occult-knowing people, and it basically makes them team up against a threat. In this case being the Enchantress going cuckoo, basically. They might want to be careful and not get into another witch who wears scarlet that also went insane, because that was already done, and it was rather well done. So, This is another book where I had next to no experience about. I don't know who most of these people are, apart from Constantine and only because of the movie. Yeah, I know, sad. And Zatanna. And I'm not a big fan of her new look, but well, this is the relaunched universe, so there it is. The artwork was amazing. It really was. It was very captivating. It looked. I don't want to say it looked photorealistic because it's not. It's not that, but it does look. It does add a flair of realism to the fact that a bunch of magic stuff's going on. And the story was pretty good. A little slow. Most of these number ones are going to be slow because they're filled with exposition, but it does set up to an interesting hook that will lead up to issue 2. And also it was interesting to see that these are the only people that can tackle magical threats, because, minor spoilers, the regular Justice League tried and didn't go well for them. Nope. Despite my first impressions, I'm going to pick up an issue 2 for Justice League Dark and see where that goes. Alright, and to round up this part, Red Lanterns, number 1. So, I'm more familiar with the Green Lanterns and Green Lantern Corps, and those comics pretty much did a good job of highlighting what the Green Lantern Corps is about. So I heard about the other colored lanterns, the blues and the purples and the red and so forth, but I never really got into them. So I decided to give this one a chance to see what it's about. All I know is that they represent rage and they vomit acidic blood. Lovely. I really don't know what to think about this. It didn't really hook me like other books, but it's not terrible. If anything, it's slightly above average. I got a little bit of the lowdown between Atrocitus and how the Red Lanterns came to be and why they came to be. So this is actually a great book for new readers and for inexperienced readers like myself to pick up. But for those of you that know the lanterns like you know the back of your hand, this is probably going to seem like a little bit of rehash. And the thing is that I'm not sure how to feel about this book because, fine, rage, got it. But Atrocitus had a bit of an epiphany near the end of the issue, and he's like, I'm going to avenge. And I'm like, well, I guess you can avenge angrily. That makes sense. I mean, I'll pick up an issue 2, but this is one of the books that's on notice. It didn't really do enough to hook me to say I want to get an issue 2 and stick with this series. So this is one of the ones that I'm putting on notice. If it doesn't pick up, if it doesn't wow me by issue 2, I'm done with this series. If you had to ask me how I rate this, it would be my answer. Well, that does it for now. Stick around. I should have more reviews up really soon. See you later. White Swim out.